Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my recap and review of the 2020 Golden Globe Awards. The Globes are often regarded as the big kickoff to the awards season, giving us glamour, giving us a lot of alcohol, and quite frankly, most of the time, handing over a big old plate of mess. And tonight was certainly no different, at least on the booze and the mess part. As I always do with my award show coverage here on the channel, we gotta start off with the best and the worst dressed of the evening. Now, overall, um, yeah, this was a mess to me. I really thought almost everyone was a mess. People were getting praise, and I just didn't get it. Like Margot Robbie, she always is beautiful, but I don't know what that ensemble was. It wasn't for me, that's sure. It wasn't bad enough to make this list. Taylor Swift, I wasn't a fan, but it wasn't bad enough to make this list. So let's go ahead and just get the best out of the way because it's a whole lot shorter. For the man on the best list, I think Wesley Snipes looked sharp. He definitely is someone who can pull off this like bold maroon suit that he was wearing. With the bold choice of cut on the coat as well as that undershirt, I thought he killed the look. Taika Waititi also is bold and beautiful. Absolutely rocked this white and black look. Sunglasses or no sunglasses, he looked amazing and had us all staring. Also, I got to give a shout out to Roman Griffin Davis. Don't talk too much about children here because we're not about to roast kids in their fashion. But you killed it. I'm glad he went out on a limb with his awesome orange coat. Not only did he look dapper, he looked like he was having a blast at the award show. So now on to the best dressed ladies. Gillian Anderson looked wonderful. I think she just pulled off this very basic, sleek, fitted white gown with this wonderful embellishment into like an off-the-shoulder cape moment here. It looked great, and her hair was on point. Kate McKinnon looked wonderful in this black sequenced pantsuit that had a nice like smoky black eye going on for the makeup, a nice natural but well done hairstyle. The heels worked, the suit was a perfect length, it was fitted well, and it was a really nice upgrade to just a standard woman in a pantsuit. Cynthia Erivo looked really sophisticated and wonderful in this black and white sequins dress. I really enjoyed that it kind of emulated a tuxedo in its design, but it fit her beautifully. I loved her hair as kind of an accent to the outfit itself. The jewelry was great. I thought she looked really, really nice. Ana de Armas rocking this big, wonderful, eye-catching ball gown that was stunning. This was definitely a show-stopping piece. Her makeup looked great. The only thing that is keeping Ana de Armas from being like my number one best dressed of the night was her hair. The hairstyle, it didn't go for me. It was like a really lax, really kind of like lazy looking half ponytail that, I don't know, it just didn't fit the dress. So that was a little bit of a letdown. Otherwise, she just looked like royalty. Now, my personal pick for the highlight of the red carpet is one that I think is going to be quite divisive, but I loved Joey King's look. I think it was cool, it was fresh, it was really eye-catching without being like ugly. I love how it's flowy yet very structured, high fashion, and Joey herself rocked it. The hair's wonderful, the makeup's wonderful, the shoe. Top to bottom, I think Joey King looked amazing and made a bold choice that for me paid off. Now, let's go ahead and talk about those that didn't pull off their looks. Whew. And we're going to start with somebody who made a bold choice that I did not agree with, and that was Zoe Deutsch. She wore this bright yellow pantsuit. I mean, clearly, I'm on board with. I think it could have been such a stunning outfit. Her makeup, that slicked back hair, it all just screamed that Zoe was on a roll for high fashion. But this was not it. I don't know, these huge parachute legs of the pants, the big over-the-top exaggerated sleeves just did not work. It could have been just a yellow fitted jumpsuit in this bright color and it would have been beautiful. But as it is, no. Now, what the hell is Sienna Miller wearing? I mean, this is horrifying. It is so bad. I don't even understand what's going on. So she has like this little cheap bra, like unfinished little bra on the top, and then a pretty cheap, wrinkled, ugly green fabric as the skirt downwards. And then we just have that same fabric, but in yellow, quickly wrapped around her waist and just thrown down to the floor. I thought, oh my gosh, when I saw her come on the stage, I was in shock, flabbergasted at what I was looking at. Yikes. Ryan Seacrest, I feel like we see this every single red carpet premiere. I think I've seen this exact like little sports coat, cigar lounger, whatever, a million times from him. He just looks so bulky in it. It's a no. Invest in a new wardrobe, Ryan, or stay off the red carpet. Thanks. I love Olivia Colman. She gives wonderful speeches, but this is not a wonderful dress for me. I just really don't like this neckline coming all the way up. I don't like this seemingly tacked on train coming from the bottom. The poofy sleeves didn't quite work. The dress length is nice, but the fit just is off everywhere. Girl, what is this, Michelle Williams? I don't even know how to explain this orange paper sack mess of a dress. I am flabbergasted. I don't know what this thing is up here on her shoulder. This little blue accent. The ties on the arm and on that other shoulder are just so horribly executed. This is terrible. And then the hair doesn't even match whatever it is going on down below. So I don't get this look at all. I didn't see Michelle Pfeiffer actually at the show, but there she was as I was scrolling through the red carpet photos, and whew, I mean, I guess she must have snuck in and snuck out, because I don't know what this is. Straight from the gym with like a quick strap it on kind of skirt on the bottom. I don't know. Mark Duplass, this is not it. The fit is bad, and that brown coat is just wretched. Ugh. Kristin Cavallari, why were you even there, first of all? Second of all, what is this half of a she-shell kind of top mess that you have going on here? I noticed this trend with a lot of women this year of just a complete disconnect between Margot Robbie earlier, Salma Hayek, and Kristin Cavallari, who looked the worst of that bunch. Just this random top part and just kind of like a white straight down skirt beneath it. It all looks a disjointed mess, and I don't know. Up here looks good though. Kaitlyn Dever, I give you an A for trying. I understand you're new to the scene, girl. You wanted to make a big statement in a nice big old ball gown, but this print is so horrible. Just do a color and give some flower accents on it, girl. What were you thinking? Think of your grandmother. The sun is going to blind her in the morning when she finds out her curtains have gone missing, girl. Kaitlyn, think of grandma before you make a dress like this. Jodie Comer, no. There's no shape to this dress, and it's like even worse than no shape, because it bundles up here for these big, ugly, half poof sleeves that do not work, and then just billows down in the ugliest, most unflattering way I could possibly imagine. Gwyneth Paltrow came out here looking like a stripper burlap sack. This is like the risque version of Home on the Prairie. Color was hideous. This little bra part was hideous. The ruffles all the way down were hideous. And then to top it all off, she has this like really ugly, homely, like tattered looking dress with this big, grand, beautiful necklace underneath. What in the world? Just no, Gwyneth. I know you're used to hearing that, but no. Gugu Mbatha-Raw, whew, I love you. But this is wretched. The dress in general is just pretty ugly, but it is the absolute worst length possible, making you look so stumpy, cutting you right off at the shin. And then, to make all matters worse, you wore this dress that doesn't hit the floor with those hideous shoes. I cannot. I have to admit, I don't know who Belle Powley is, but this does not make me intrigued to know, because whatever this powder blue monstrosity is, no thank you. Wrinkled, unfashionable, and ugly. The worst possible combination. Anna Paquin, girl. Oh, Anna Paquin. I know you haven't been on the scene in a while, but this is not how we dress for the red carpet, hun. To be fair, maybe she didn't think she'd actually get an invitation, seeing as her character spoke like a line of dialogue throughout a 3.5-hour long film. I don't know. I mean, but this hair looks unbothered. The makeup is pretty pedestrian. And then this horrifying dress with the awful print and then this weird rufflage just draping down on her shoulders. It's terrible. And then finally, my pick for worst dressed of the evening is Jennifer Lopez. Part of it might be just that I was so excited to see what she was going to rock for the red carpet now that she's a Golden Globe nominee and hopefully soon an Oscar nominee and the like. This dress may have killed your chance of that nomination, Lopez, because this is horrifying. What kind of Christmas present wrapped by a 2-year-old mess is this, girl? I don't even know where to begin with these bows, with these colors, with the cut of the dress. We're used to like sexy Jennifer Lopez. I understand you're nominated, maybe you wanted to go ball gown. But this, that white fabric just laying there on the bottom, seeming like it has no type of structure at the top, and then the rest of the fabric just wrapped around and tied in a million bows to give you volume. It just is terrible. As per usual, this up is stunning. The hair is gorgeous, the makeup, the face is beat to the gods like it always is. Jewelry is wonderful, but my god, that dress is terrible. Okay, so now let's get on to the actual show. So Ricky Gervais was our host yet again, and we don't need him back. I'm just going to say that right here. So here's the weird thing with Ricky Gervais. A lot of what he said, both in that opening monologue and then one, maybe two, of the jokes throughout the rest of the show, there was some biting truth to what he was saying in here. Yes, the elites of Hollywood do in fact demonstrate high levels of hypocrisy, turning blind eyes while preaching what seems like constantly, including, as he called out later in the show, the Harvey Weinstein situation. Let's be real. However, it has to be constructed better than this. If you are a comedian, in his own way, Ricky Gervais just came out to preach himself, and I think that was the biggest problem. He didn't construct jokes. He just kind of like started rampaging up there. Secondly, don't tell people how to accept their awards, and clearly they didn't listen to you anyway, so stop that, telling people not to politicize their public platform. Stop. But third, it just wasn't very funny, really, for a professional comedian. His timing was just completely non-existent. In that entire opening monologue, his timing was just completely off. He was reading off a note card the entire night. He kept making reference to how much he didn't want to be there, and as we wore on through the night, you could physically see him just basically being in pain, having to endure it. There wasn't an ounce of excitement, an ounce of even fun about Ricky Gervais. I mean, it was just a slog of a hosting job. It was painful, honestly. I thought it was really, really terrible. He gave one or two fun jokes. My favorite one in the opening monologue being about Leonardo DiCaprio and the length of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood being so great that his girlfriend aged out of the proper age range for Leo's dating history. That was like it. He made a really horrible joke about the women directors that was just not only in poor taste, but again, poorly done. And I think that's the problem. Offensive jokes certainly can be funny. Harsh reality type of jokes are gold. But they have to be funny. They have to be well executed. And Ricky Gervais, he just bombed to me. I'm with the Hollywood Foreign Press president. Put it in writing, Gervais, that you will never come back, because this was it. Paycheck gig, if I've ever seen one, without even an ounce of effort put on top of that. Yikes. As for speeches, I really enjoyed, and moments I thought worked throughout the evening. Bong Joon-ho, who won for Best Foreign Language Film for Parasite, gave a wonderful speech imploring audiences, particularly U.S. audiences, to watch foreign cinema, to give it a chance, that if we can just get over that small hurdle that is a 1-inch subtitle on the screen, our world is opened to so much amazing film. And I thought it was just a really nice speech. I'm glad he gave it in his native tongue, brought a translator. It was delightful. Patricia Arquette always gives politically charged speeches, and she did not let Ricky Gervais get in the way of her tonight either. She was also very good. It just seems that we give Patricia Arquette awards for her to give these speeches, because she wins at everything. The dress was a no, but the speech was good. Then Michelle Williams kind of stole the night for me. I thought her speech was stunning. Again, I was certainly distracted by that horrendous dress she wore, but the words were of such substance, and it was such a moving, true experience for her that, I mean, I don't know how you didn't get like sucked right in. It was one of the best calls to action for voting I've ever seen because it was so personal. The use of personal experience and your own life. I've rarely seen that used so well in an award speech, so it was really great. As for not so great award speeches, Joaquin Phoenix tried to make a great statement. I agree. Especially those of you in Hollywood who have a lot more resources and money than the viewers at home do. You need to do something about those fires in Australia. Don't just say we send our sympathies. You know, do something about it. So everybody who mentioned that in their speeches, I hope you are putting your money and your resources where your mouth was. That was good part of his speech. However, it was the rest. It was just like, what is he saying? He is like sloshed off of his mind. Joaquin is already so weird. They had to bleep out like half of his speech because much like Ricky Gervais, he was saying some truths in there from what I could hear about like everything just being a farce. But he was just so nonsensical, rambling, and a mess that the message is lost, homie. Sorry. And then Renee Zellweger, I don't know what the speech was. She seemed out of her mind, if I'm being honest. She really just seemed vacant and not there in the moment, which is almost an alarming way to come up and accept an award after having to portray Judy Garland and winning an award for your portrayal of Judy Garland and knowing her life story. Her use of words, her pacing was just so unbearably elongated. It drove me nuts. I don't know what Renee Zellweger was on or doing or drinking in the audience, but woof, it was tough to sit all the way through her speech. Then we get to our two honorees of the evening. Kate McKinnon gave a really powerful, beautiful, funny, heartwarming introduction to Ellen DeGeneres about acceptance and being an alien that really got to me by the end. And then they put together this absolutely stunning montage tribute to Ellen that I think moved everyone. It was a really, really well done tribute for her. And, you know, she gets a lot of flack for one reason or the next. But Ellen really was a trailblazer in many ways. It was really great to see that represented in the montage as it was. Plus, I do think Ellen gave a very endearing speech, as you'd expect. But then we get to Charlize Theron really just gushing over Tom Hanks. Like, her love for him was so apparent through her intro into his Cecil B. Award that it was really endearing to her as a person. And then we get to that montage. I mean, wow. Just wow. What a career. What a body of work. What a legacy Tom Hanks has created. Obviously full of just stellar performances from him as an actor, showcasing how empathetic he is and how wonderful he is, but also just what great work in choosing his projects throughout his career. He knows how to pick them. But his speech was amazing. I just loved hearing him talk about what makes you good, really, and what it means to do this work and all of his personal experiences. It all was really great seeing him tear up and get emotional and just all of the feels in his speech. It really was the highlight of the whole night. And then we actually get to the awards, and my oh my did I do terrible. Yes, the evidence is here right on my YouTube channel. You can see who I predicted to win all of the awards. My biggest fault was overestimating The Irishman and underestimating my own favorite film nominated, 1917, which ended up coming away with Best Picture Drama and Best Director. So if you watch my video, that was my pick on who should win both of those awards. I didn't go with my gut. I went with The Irishman and Scorsese instead, and the foreign press were having none of it. I'm so happy to see 1917 come out shining right before the film's release. Please go see it. It's so good. As expected, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood cleaned up. It won for Best Picture Comedy, which, duh, that was a no-brainer. Also taking home Best Supporting Actor for Brad Pitt, who I think has pretty much solidified himself as the frontrunner, also gave a very nice speech. And for Best Screenplay, which I wouldn't have picked it. I think it's one of Tarantino's weakest screenplays to date, but there you have it. Plus, Quentin Tarantino's speech was a hot mess. I was like, oh my gosh, somebody pulled the hook on him. This is a no. Joker also came away with some awards, including Best Lead Actor in a Drama for Joaquin Phoenix, which we called it. That was one of my few victories. And then it also won for Best Original Score, a category I thought 1917 would win. But I'm actually very happy to see Joker take that home as well, because the score was stellar, and this is the first solo woman ever to win for Best Original Score. So female composers are so rarely seen, it seems, that I'm elated that she went up and got this award. Though I do think 1917 has a better score. However, an award Once Upon a Time it didn't take home that I thought it would was Best Lead Actor in a Comedy or Musical. And I was so excited that Taron Egerton won. Oh my gosh. I was one of the big upset picks I was desperately hoping for going into the night. And he did it. Oh, yes. Now they had better nominate him for that frickin' Oscar, especially after this win. What a wonderful human being he is, and what a stellar performance he gave. Also, Awkwafina, though I did predict her, took home her award for Best Lead Actress, keeping her Oscar nomination hopes alive, and becoming the first ever Asian woman to win Best Lead Actress in a Comedy or Musical at the Golden Globes. Really fantastic. And if she does get that Oscar nomination, it will be another historic moment. If Laura Dern took home Best Supporting Actress, which I'm not shocked by, I'm just uninspired by. I guess I just don't get it. I don't understand why this performance is just so amazing, but here we are. And then Renee Zellweger for Best Lead Actress in a Drama, who was kind of like my co-pick with Scarlett Johansson. Parasite took home Best Foreign Film, duh. But then I gotta get to the two awards that really just showed the Hollywood Foreign Press were done with Disney. So Best Original Song, I thought Into the Unknown was the front runner, but in fact, the love for Elton John runs deep. So I'm Gonna Love Me Again from Rocketman came out on top. Elton gave a wonderful speech. It was a really beautiful moment as well. And I was excited to see that win as well. Just shocked when Disney had so many of the nominees. Speaking of Disney owning nominations, Best Animated Feature was far and away my biggest, just straight up shock of the evening. I thought for sure this would come down to Toy Story 4 and Frozen 2, but lo and behold, Missing Link from Laika Studios jumps in and snatches that award right from underneath Disney. I will say I enjoy Frozen 2, Toy Story 4, and How to Train Your Dragon 3 more than Missing Link. However, thank God The Lion King did not take this home. Thank God. So based on strength of film, I don't think Missing Link should have won this. However, I'm actually very happy they did. Laika Studios has gone underrepresented for so long through all of the amazing and technical achievements they've done throughout the studio's, short history. And they haven't won any big awards ever. So seeing them finally receive this recognition was quite cathartic, and it did leave me smiling. It left me happy, even if it wasn't what I personally would have chosen. If this is what it takes to really start propping up and boosting Laika Studios, then so be it. Give them the frickin' awards already. They've already been long overdue, if you ask me. And hopefully, someday, audiences will catch on and start giving them the box office results that they deserve. Yeah, and Jason Momoa was looking fine in the audience in his muscle shirt. He did wear the coat coming in and was just like, you know what, I'm taking this off. I don't know why he decided to put it back on when he went to present, because, child, you know why you were invited, Momoa. So that's it. That is my recap and review for the 2020 Golden Globe Awards. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button down below. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel as we continue on through award season. I will be doing a live reaction to the Oscar nominees, as well as a ranking for all of the Best Picture nominees, and of course, predictions for the big show, and a recap and review of the Academy Awards. All stuff you're not going to want to miss. So make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications. But more importantly than all that, make sure to join in on the discussion. Leave your thoughts about the Globes, from the winners to the fashions, all in the comment section down below, or hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!